Good afternoon, everybody. I am looking forward to our annual conversation about what to expect at the 2025 Women's Retreat, which will be held in Lake Juneau, Alaska, May 1st through the 4th this year. And I am very much looking forward to it. It's one of the highlights of my year. I just love seeing everybody come together and connecting with friends and being encouraged and just being in such a safe, supportive environment. The energy and the vibe there is just it's amazing. Like you just show up and everybody is just saying hello and loving on each other. And I love seeing people's faces transform throughout the week. People show up kind of discouraged and downcast, and by the end of the week, I'm like, wait, is that the same person that just walked past me? You can just see God has just done such a beautiful work in their lives there, and I just love being part of it. So today we get to talk more about it, and I'm excited because we have Joy here with us, who is not on camera. Y'all, she is not feeling well today, and it was her choice to still come here. And I bless her heart for being willing to come and share her vision behind her heart for the Call to Peace Ministries retreat. And so she's going to share and then jump off. And then we also have Diana. She is been here on an interview with us once before, but she is a big part of Call to Peace Ministries behind the scene. And this year she's taken on retreat lead and is doing such an amazing job, just organizing and putting everything together. And she's got such an incredible team. And so I'm just so excited for her to be here and to be able to share with you more details about the retreat. But before we get started, I'm going to let Diana briefly introduce herself, and then we're going to go into Joy introducing herself and let Joy start. So Diana, can you tell everybody, just tell them what your position is with Call to Peace and a little bit about yourself, maybe a fun.
Sure. Well, Lauren, thank you so much for having us on. And Joy, I'm so sorry you're not feeling well.
Me too.
My name is Diana Fies. Thanks. And I am the Director of Finance here at Call to Peace Ministries. And I've also taken on the role here of project manager, for lack of a better term. Basically, I'm just leading this amazing retreat team that we have this year.
Yeah.
And she is incredible. So she is one of those people. I love when Joy and I get to sit in meetings with all of the team. It's so amazing. Joy and I are more like, whoa, it's so exciting. And then we see people organize, and Joy and I are in a meeting. We're like, wow, people's brains work like this. They're so organized and so able to put everything together and all the pieces. And it's just, I love seeing the team work together. And so that brings me to Joy. And she is our visionary behind this retreat. It is what God has put on her heart, and she invites the speakers and has put together this, that she's hoping the Holy Spirit, how he will lead and work and speak into your life at the retreat. So I'm going to let her tell you a little bit more about the theme this year. So Joy, why don't you tell them the theme, tell them your heart behind the theme, and why did you choose that?
Thank you, Lauren. Well, the theme this year is just Redeemer. We could have said redeemed, but for me, so it's going to be based on a passage in Psalm 56 that it says, "He will redeem my soul in peace from the battle that is waged against me." And then I believe it says after that, "For there were many who were opposed or against me." And so I know coming out of abuse, a lot of times we feel like that this is just not a battle that we can win, that we can't overcome. And honestly, if you listen to some of the teaching that's out there, we're stuck. We are just going to be traumatized for the rest of our lives. But that is not who our God is. He's a healer, and he brings healing to those who seek him and are willing to do the hard work of being honest with themselves and with God, and actually just seeking out his truth. And so I invited our friend Leslie Vernick because she, in my mind, I love her, just the way that she teaches healing. Again, I find that there are a lot of people that are getting stuck in victim mode. And one of the first times I met Leslie was at a conference. Gosh, it's been probably 2016 or 17 now. And she was speaking on having a victim or a victor mindset. It's like you get to choose, what you're going to be. But we're not left without resources. We have spiritual resources. God's word speaks to us, and it speaks healing and peace to us. And so that's what we're going to be focusing on. We'll also have Nagme Panahi, who's an amazing story of redemption. And then my friend, LaTanya Allen, who has a very dramatic story that God has redeemed miraculously. So, she had some very, very much had some trauma. Both of her parents were killed by her ex-husband, um, and she was left for dead. And yet, when you see her, you will see this is a woman who's an overcomer. She has um, not only survived it, but is thriving. And so, only God can do that kind of thing. God is such a redeemer. And so, I'm so excited that we get to talk to these amazing women who are going to help lead us. And that's our hope, is that you have this encounter with your Redeemer while you're there. Not only will you get to meet other women who know your story, we don't have to explain ourselves in these situations. We all are coming from the similar backgrounds. And it's like you, Lauren, it's one of my favorite times of the year. So it's a beautiful thing. And I know that Diana is going to be able to give you guys some information about who our breakout speakers will be and their subjects. And we just would really love to see you there. It's going to be amazing. For me, it's my very favorite time of the year. It's better than Christmas. And which is why I'm on here today, even though I don't feel good. Because, just what we see lives change over that short 3 to 4 day period. We see people who came in timid and afraid going out with big smiles on their faces. The Lord does amazing work at these retreats, and so we would love for you to be a part of it. So thank you, Lauren.
Absolutely. Joy, is there anything else you would like to share? If not, I'll let you go ahead and dismiss yourself, and everybody say a prayer for Joy that she gets feeling better soon.
Yes, because I'm supposed to travel tomorrow, and I need to feel better. So
Yes.
yes, I appreciate the prayers. I can't think of anything else, but I'll watch on. I'll turn this off and watch on Facebook, and I will comment in the chat if I have anything else to add. Because you don't need to see my face right now. Bye, you guys. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, Joy.
Thank you, Joy.
Yes, and I've dropped a link in the comments too. If you're wondering, where is the retreat? Where can I learn information about it? It's in the comments. And if you're watching, will you go ahead and just let us know maybe where you're watching from? And also if you're coming to the retreat. I get so excited when I see people telling me that they're coming to the retreat, new people that I get to meet and people that I recognize from previous retreats. So now we're going to get into the nitty gritty of the retreat. And I'm excited because it's just amazing meeting with the retreat team and seeing how well everything is organized and planned. It's gets me so thrilled for this year and just all that God's going to be able to do through the order and structure that they're bringing to the team. And so I'm excited to talk more about that and some of their ideas of new things they're putting in place. We've heard your feedback. We're trying to make this even better and make you just feel very refreshed. We want you to walk away feeling relaxed and not like, whoa, there's so many options. There's so much to do. I don't know what to do with yourself. So I will let Diana tell you more about this. So let's start from the very beginning and let's start with, well, what is the overview of the retreat like this year compared to last year?
Yes. And you know what? I love that you mentioned a couple of times our team. So let me just pause for a moment before I speak up here. But we have an amazing team of staff members. And it is just so great to see them thrive in their different roles and the different responsibilities that they've taken on. So this is a huge, big team effort. There's a lot of volunteers that we're going to have at the retreat as well. And I'll share a little bit about those opportunities in a little bit here too. So it takes a small army for a large retreat like this to be launched well. So thank you so much again. I went on the retreat on the retreat team and all the different ways you serve. So yeah, last year and sometimes in the past we've kind of felt like it was very content heavy, and we wanted to there was a time when as a team we were thinking, is this going to be more a conference or more a retreat? And so led by Joy, we really wanted to go back to that feel of a retreat and just soaking up the beautiful grounds of Lake Junaluska. Let me share with you a little bit of an update. So they did experience some damage during Hurricane Helene. In fact, the building where most of our breakout sessions will be, they had to redo all of the audiovisual equipment there. And so they did experience some damage, but it's all fixed. In fact, they served as a ground zero, so to speak, station for all the emergency workers and responders there in that area. So they were open during the whole recovery period and really serving there the community. So this is a great way, to come and support that area as they're rebuilding from just the huge devastation, and a great way to support that ministry as well.
Thank you for saying that too, because Western North Carolina is definitely begging for visitors. They're a tourist heavy economy. So I'm really glad you mentioned that. And so I just want to mention too, for those who've never been to Lake Junaluska, it's set among, it's like this beautiful mountain town. It is gorgeous. Somebody said it reminded them of Cape Cod. It's just, you see these little tiny, beautiful homes nestled all in the mountains. You're on a lake. It's so serene. Being there is peaceful. And it's right next to Asheville, North Carolina. So if you're looking to fly in, that's probably where you'll fly in. It's not too far from Charlotte. You would not want to drive there to visit. It's a little bit of a drive. But Waynesville, which was voted one of the top North Carolina towns, I believe once or twice. It's just beautiful and refreshing. And so I'm really glad that you mentioned all that. So you will get a chance to visit Asheville, which was actually hit very hard by the hurricane, as well as visit Waynesville. So thank you. And so I'm excited about that. That gets me all excited because we have free time there. So you will be having free time. We've extended that a little bit. And I just kind of want to talk about that. And don't worry, guys, we're going to get into like the breakout sessions and all the good stuff too. But hold on, just want to give you an idea of what to expect before you get there. Can you tell me a little bit more about the free time that we'll have on Saturday?
Yes, we have some flex time as well on Friday. So Friday and Saturday we built into, and I'm just looking down at some printed notes I have here, but we've had built into the schedule just additional time to be with friends, to make new friendships, we'll have a few activities that are optional. And in fact, we have 2 different activities that will be going on in the white tent, which is right next door to the Stewart Auditorium. We'll have a self-defense class that's offered twice, once on Friday, once on Saturday, and then a restorative movement class that will also be held once on Friday, once on Saturday. So, there'll be lots of different options. We also have, let me put a plug here for our amazing Create Space, led by Jen again. So we'll have that open the same time that our bookstore is open. We'll have the Create Space in that same area. And we'll also have some some tabletop games available as well. So for you to check out, you could take those back to your hotel room and bring them back. So and all of these things, you might just say, you know what, I don't want to play a board game. I want to take a nap. And so we have that built into the schedule this year for you to have as much people time as you want, or if you're a bit more like me, I like my alone time as well. So we'll have the best of both worlds, however you'd like to use that time.
That sounds amazing. And I just want to give a plug for Create Space. What you're probably like, what is this? Okay, y'all, this is phenomenal. Jen is on our staff and she's amazing creative person. She brings arts and crafts. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but behind me is a little sign that says Restore, that I made at the retreat one year. And it's just so beautiful. You get to make these amazing crafts, and so many women see it's a highlight, because something about crafting with women is just, conversations just flow naturally, and you just connect, and you just feel like you're in a safe place to create. And so that is going to be amazing. You're going to love that. And the restorative movement and self-defense. I'm so excited about all this. And I just think that really allows, like you're saying, for fostering relationships. And that kind of brings me to my next point and question for you is, we're not having shepherd groups this year. So I did want to mention that, because I know people are going to be asking about that. Can you tell me a little bit about why are we not doing that? What are we doing instead?
With the way that Lake Junaluska is set up, is really your home base is the lodging that you choose. And so it was very difficult last year trying to do the shepherd groups and then having the different lodging options, because you eat where basically in the building that you choose to stay in. And so it made it very difficult to try to find times for folks to meet for the shepherding groups. So we thought that we would just go a different route this year and have more of an open space. And we'll have lots of, again, with the Create Space, the game time, the more open-ended time, there'll be lots more opportunities to connect with people. Will be very meaningful in how we do some of those connection times. So a little bit less formal, hoping that more of these organic conversations will come to play here.
Yes, and I love that. And just a thought on my mind is I would just encourage people to start praying for that God will send you a friend and that you can be a friend to somebody else there, because God cares about that more than you do. And I have made some of my closest friends at the retreat. I have. They're not members of staff, just people that I connected with organically. Maybe we ran into each other somewhere and sat down and realized we had a lot in common and just start talking. And so God cares about those things, and He's able to orchestrate people in your path. Like people that were next to each other, both from Romania, really in line. It's just amazing that happened
Wow.
last year. The things that God does, and just I'm excited to see God do those stories again. I think that is one of the most thrilling things, is seeing how God orchestrates that and how much God cares for our friendships. So yeah, start praying for that, and I'm going to be
And you know what,
praying.
Lauren, yes, and you know, and that's a great point to bring up too, is that many of you, and maybe you're considering whether you come or not, and you're thinking, well, I don't know anybody. You know, I'm going to be put in a room with someone that I don't know. So in my first retreat, I went to the first retreat in 2018, and I was put with a complete stranger who became a very good friend. And we're still in touch on Facebook. She's from many states away from where I am. And it was such a sweet time to get to know someone. And so I would just encourage you that if you're a little bit nervous, a little anxious about who you might be sharing a room with, that, you know, again, just bathe that in prayer, and some of the sweetest friendships come out of being stuck together in a room. So it's really it's a really neat time. And also, you know, I think it's very important and would be helpful to come with a mindset of no one sits alone. You know, we have this idea, I think about sometimes where kind of awkward middle schoolers, you know, it's like, oh, I want to talk with that person, but I'm a little nervous, right? So if I'll come with this idea of like, we don't want anyone to sit alone. You know, when we go to a meal, someone's sitting by themselves, help yourself to the seat next to them, you know, and get to know someone new. So as much as we can come with this really warm, welcoming attitude, I think would be helpful.
Thank you, Diana. That was such an excellent idea. I love the idea of no one sits alone. And so, yeah, I love that. So those who've been before, I challenge you to make a new friend with somebody that's new. Find somebody that's sitting alone and invite them in with you. So that kind of leads me to some of our next points, and that's going to be talking about, okay, well, Joy talked about the main speakers, and I'm super excited about the main speakers. We're getting Leslie Vernick back. Like I love her, and her, like I follow her on Facebook and Instagram, and everything she says is just wow. So I think everybody there's needs are going to be met, no matter if you are a new coming out of a domestic abuse or you are seasoned way out of domestic abuse and healing. I think you have a lot to learn from Leslie and the other speakers. It's going to be a phenomenal time. And so I want to talk more about the breakout sessions. So we will be having breakout sessions. Can you tell me maybe a few sessions that we may be having? What does the breakout sessions look like?
Yes, in fact. So another thing that's different this year is we're not doing a pre-conference. We're starting right off at 2:30 on Thursday. So you don't want to miss the first session, because we have Dr. Deborah is speaking right off 2:30 on Thursday. So you want to make sure you're there for that. LaTanya Allen is going to be a speaker at our very first session, as well as Dr. Tope. So we want to make sure you're there on time, getting ready for that first round starting at 2:30 on Thursday. We also have Leanne Parsons. We're so excited to have Leanne. So not only is she going to be speaking, she'll be speaking about our Redeemer lives and the confidence that we could have in that. She's also going to be our MC for the weekend. And if you know Leanne Parsons, she is just very, very bubbly and cheerful, and she'll just set that tone for us just to have a great weekend together. A couple other names, and Lauren, jump in if you want to talk any more about these. Nagme Panahi, that Joy also mentioned, that she'll also be doing a breakout session on Thursday, the later session on Thursday. Georgia Schaefer will be speaking twice to us, once on healthy relationships, and then again on Friday, going from fear to faith, and how we can surrender our fear to the Lord and how He transforms that. Leslie Vernick, in addition to her main sessions, will also be doing a breakout session on Friday morning, which would be amazing. Jessica Frank will be speaking to us twice, once in a breakout and once in a workshop. So workshop is a little bit more hands-on and interactive, and she'll be speaking to us about parenting children who are traumatized. So that's a huge topic.
Yes. And she's well known in
Um,
another world too, right? Is a lot of people might be familiar with her. She was connected with somebody. I'm trying to remember another domestic abuse advocacy. And so I've talked to her before, and I've had her on the interview because she was supposed to come at a retreat before, and she talked about parenting, and I was blown away, y'all. She has so much wisdom, and then ended up not working out that
yes.
year. So I'm so excited she's back. So some people may be like, "Wait, who is that?" Trust me, you will love her. She's an amazing person, and I'm really excited she's coming. I think it might have been with Flying Free that she was actually connected with for a while and did advocacy work with. So yeah, I'm excited she's come back. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry, just giving a plug for somebody new.
And then Tabby's going to be speaking to us twice. Our beloved Tabitha Westbrook. One of these sessions is called Redeeming Friendship, and she's bringing her friend Mike. So we're going to have a guide teaming with her, and she's going to talk about how we could redeem friendships with guys. Such a practical thing. So, some of you might be fine. So maybe, watch the recorded session, because we'll have access to all of the recorded workshops as a part of the post-retreat access. So lots of other options. Those are just highlighting a few. Our board member Winifred's going to be speaking to us on Saturday, Turmoil to Tranquility. Many of you know and love Tiffany Lesnick. She's going to actually bring a panel of lawyers and judges, and she's going to be presenting with this panel. So that's going to be amazing.
Yes.
So really, really great sessions.
Yes, and Rebecca Davis is coming too, right?
Yes. You know what? I think that's somewhat of a are we publicly announcing that? I don't know if we are or not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Sorry. I know I've publicly announced that she's coming. She will be at the retreat,
Yes.
and what else she's doing there, I do not know what her topic and session, or if they will be public or not, but she will be at the retreat. So she will be there selling books. She will be, and you can talk to her. She's an amazing, wonderful woman to meet and connect with. And then I just got a message from Joy that let me know that Jessica isn't connected with Flying Free. It is with Fieldstone Counseling and Melissa Alfather. So, and Rebecca is on the panel, Joy told me. So Rebecca, we have a panel on Saturday night or Friday night. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. But we have a panel on one of the nights, and Rebecca Davis will be on the panel.
Yes, it is Friday night. I'm so sorry. Saturday morning from 9 to 10:30 is the panel.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm excited that she'll be there. She's a highlight to see every single year. And then, yeah, so we talked about the breakout sessions. Is there anybody else, or we got everybody, right? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the workshops, because we have some workshops too that will be on the same time on both Friday and Saturday. What are workshops, and how are they different from breakout sessions, and who are we having in these workshops?
Yes. So the workshops will not be recorded, first of all. So they'll be very much interactive. We have a couple options. We have Dawn Perry is coming and talking about doing business. So she has her own business, and she's going to be sharing her wisdom with us, how to go ahead and get a business started, and some wisdom around that. Mary Ann Otley will be talking to us about journaling and using that as a tool for healing and recovery. Mindy Williams will be coming and talking about meditation unto the Lord and having practicing mindfulness in a Christian spiritual way. This is not in a Buddhist way, but in a very God honoring way. How can we be present with our senses and engage our senses in a God honoring way? And then also another one on friendships and parenting. And then the last one that Tabby will be sharing is the redeeming the power of play. How fun does that sound?
Oh, I want to go play with Tabitha. What are we going to do? That sounds so amazing. Fun. All of those sound amazing. I have got a chance to talk to a few people about their breakout sessions, and I am like, wow, they sound so good. And they're very interactive, like where they're having you participate and you feel like you're part of a group, and it's going to be really awesome. I'm like, how do you choose between all of those? That's going to be hard, but they sound really awesome.
Yes.
And then Joy just messaged me. Y'all got to hear this about the panel. She told me who was on the panel. This panel sounds like it's incredible. Like, it's not one you want to miss. Listen to this. Leslie Vernick, Dan Bowick, who is our now executive director, Andre Turrentine, who works with men who use course of control and is a church partnership liaison, Tabitha Westbrook, Joy Forrest, Rebecca Davis, Neil, who is our new Neil Story, who is our new church partnership director, and then Renee Best, who is a therapist from Raleigh, North Carolina. So she's been a speaker in the past. So that sounds amazing. I'm like, wow, that's going to be some good conversation there. So,
Yeah, that's so exciting.
Yes. So tell me anything else you want to add about the retreat this year that you feel like somebody watching should know?
Yes, especially if this is your first time and you're considering whether or not, because I'm sure it seems very daunting. Maybe you have to get on an airplane. Maybe you have childcare to line up, and maybe for your pets. I'm sure there's so many details thinking about leaving your home for 3 days to come and do this, and all of the. We have not received any feedback that said, man, that was such a bad decision that I went. All the feedback has been, I am so glad that I went. It was difficult to arrange all the details, but it was so worth it. And so, each year we have new folks that come and so many people who come back. It's almost like a reunion to see people year after year. And, it's an investment with some money, investment with logistics of getting there, but it's so worth it. And just to have that time to be with people who understand, we've all been through stuff, and to be in a room, I think for me, one of my favorite moments at the retreat is when we are all together, hands raised, worshiping the Lord. And it's just such a powerful time. One of my favorite songs that is usually done at the retreat is the goodness of God. And all my life you've been faithful. All my life you've been so good. And having a room full of hundreds of women who've gone through abuse at the hands of a loved one, to say, God, you've been good all my life. And just to let the tears flow, and it's okay. We all get it. And so just to give that to the Lord, and it's just such a powerful time of healing and being understood and being in community together.
Wow. Yes. You get my heart so excited. Like I said, yeah, this is a highlight, I think, for all of us. Even though it is a different experience for us on staff, it's still a highlight to see this happen and be part of the worship, and just to hear the feedback from everybody who's been there. As you said, there's nobody who's ever regretted coming, and that money was always well worth the investment. And I'm glad you mentioned the part about money, because we are full on scholarships. Yes, we do offer partial scholarships to about 100 women, and we'll be starting a campaign to raise money for that here shortly. But we have received the amount of requests that we are allowing, and we're going through that process. So if you applied, you'll hear back very soon. We go through that in batches, meaning we go with starting the first to apply, they've never been, get the first opportunity, and then those who've received a scholarship before get the next opportunity, and type of thing. So be paying attention to a code that comes from Sandra, and she's sending it out personally from her, and you have about 10 days to make that code work. But you may be hearing this and be thinking like, okay, I didn't get a scholarship, or I missed the scholarship window. And so Diana has a very economical option for you, and I want her to tell you a little bit more about that.
Yes. So we have another building that we're using this year that we did not use last year. It's called the Hillside Lodge, and that's our most economical option. It's a double occupancy room, and it's under $500 for 3 days, all expenses paid. That's at a resort. I mean, that's a very economical option. So, and if you're able to sign up, right now, if you sign up, you can break that down into 2 different payments. So it makes it a lot easier than just one lump sum. And we're allowing that until about 2 months before the retreat. So we have about another month to go on breaking up these payments into monthly installments to make it a little bit easier.
Wow. So you're telling me you can get to the retreat for under $500?
Yes.
Wow. 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 That's amazing, considering all the content that you get The food's provided, except for Saturday night and you're on your own to go out to eat dinner. And like all of that's provided in the fellowship. It's so worth it. If you break that down, that's only like $60 a month. I mean, I'm not finance Diana, so I probably just butchered that. $60 a month a year. Is that right?
Well,
Yes,
we only
something-
have about 2 months out, so it's going to be 2 payments of less than $250.
Oh, well, I'm saying like if for me in my mind, I'm like, wait, that's only $60 a month that I can sacrifice a year to pay for that. Or if you're, never mind, I'm probably not giving good financial advice. Never mind. Let's just not go there, Lauren. So anyway, I'm just saying, I think you should get there if you possibly can. It is so worth it, and trust the Lord to provide. Ask Him to provide and give you the finances. I've seen Him do that over and over again. And like I said, I do not believe we heal in isolation. I know we don't actually. Statistics show that we don't. You need community. So if you don't have a community, this is your opportunity to get a community. This is your opportunity to reconnect with your community and be encouraged and just to feel understood. Because who wants to walk through life and not be understood or ever feel like you're believed, going through domestic abuse, and you just have to explain everything under the sun and everybody wants to question you, just to feel loved on and believed and accepted. I feel like sometimes can do volumes more than like hours in therapy, just to feel that acceptance is a huge part of healing and rewiring our brains to receive that empathy and to give empathy to ourselves too. So yes. Is there anything else you want to add, Diana?
If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to either info@calltopeace.org or me personally, Diana@calltopeace.org. I'm glad to help answer any questions that you might have. And we are about halfway full. So don't delay too much longer. Those rooms are filling up. We only have about 7 more double occupancy rooms in Terrace Hall. So if you like to be in the center of campus, that's the lodging hall in the middle of campus. You'll need to jump on those real quick. So
yeah, that's my favorite area. So just saying, if you want to be there, you got to get on that quickly. But they're all really lovely areas. So thank you so much, Diana, for your time today and joining us and helping us talk through the retreat. It just gets me so excited and thrilled to meet every single one of you. And like I said, if you're coming in later, let us know that you're coming. I love to see your name. And then when I get to the retreat, I feel like God always just brings our paths together and I get to recognize your name or see that you commented and know who you are. And we just love to love on you and to welcome you here and embrace you and see that you're connecting. So thank you guys for joining us today. Let us know if you have any questions. I'm going to go ahead and drop Diana's contact at info@calltopeace.org. I'm going to drop that in the comments below so you can reach out to her if you have any questions at all. And we also, this is not public information we're giving out, but we do have a carpool app. We do want to mention that there is possibilities for you to partner with other people to get here. So maybe you're coming from somewhere like Illinois and you're like, oh boy, I can't afford plane tickets, but you may find other people that are coming from that same area that you can ride with. We will not be giving that information out unless you are registered for the retreat, and it is very private to protect the privacy of the women that we serve. But I don't know, I just felt like the Lord wanted me to say that. I do want to say, don't be too scared. If you're like, oh my gosh, I live too far away, I can't get there. There's options for you to connect with other women to come to the retreat and ride together. There's several people that have caravanned and been able to save money on flights and everything else. So there's always options. Reach out.
Yes. Thank you. And we hope to see you all in May.
All right. See y'all guys. Have a good day.